Hey everyone, welcome to the Daily. Today's the day, Simon. This is it. You ready for this one?
I've been ready for a while.
You've been ready? Well, it is the start of the hexagonal. The U.S. national team taking on Honduras in San Pedro Sula. Greg Lawless alongside Simon Borg. I've got my lucky corduroy jacket on today. We are hoping that the U.S. will get some sort of result.
You are hoping.
Okay,
I'm not hoping.
I speak for the royal we in this one.
I'm objective.
You're objective. Great. I'm not objective. I'm looking for a win for the U.S. or at least a draw.
It's not happening.
Thank you. Ooh, really?
Right.
All right, well, we'll get to that in a second. The game is at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to have a live chat on MLSsoccer.com. We're also going to have a live Google Hangout with Alexi Lawless, a.k.a. my brother, Jimmy Conrad, a couple of U.S. national team legends there. At halftime and postgame, we'll have those hangouts on MLSsoccer.com.
Catch your breath.
Whew. Simon, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here's the question. What is the biggest decision that Jurgen Klinsmann has to make regarding personnel in the starting 11 against Honduras?
Greg, I think the biggest decision he could make is sitting Clint Dempsey and starting Jose Francisco Torres at attacking mid. That's one I would make. He's not going to do that, though. So I think the big decision is Herculez Gomez or Eddie Johnson, wide left. He's played Herculez Gomez wide left before. Eddie Johnson, I think, gives you a lot more work and a lot more chances of getting behind the back line than Gomez does. So I think in the end he'll go with Johnson.
It says something a lot about EJ that we're saying he gives you more work than Herculez Gomez, but I think you're right. He's proven it with Seattle a lot. Now, Simon, there's some other stuff going on. Sunil Gulati, the president for U.S. Soccer Federation, talking today to the media, a couple things that he said. One, he is expectant, really, that Landon Donovan will return at some point. And then he qualified that a little bit and said he's hopeful. That was reported by Stephen Goff from the Washington Post. Now, he's talking about the national team. Sunil is not talking about the MLS side of this.
He's talking about national team,
right.
Absolutely. But for the U.S.'s sake, hopefully it's not too late because the U.S., we know they open in Honduras, then they face Costa Rica, then they got to go to Mexico. They have a series of really tough matchups. By the time Donovan's ready to come back, is the U.S. in too deep a hole for Donovan even to rescue them?
Well, they could also be on top of things. Why so negative here? Why so pessimistic?
No, I'm just talking.
So give me a prediction for tonight.
I think it's a 2-0 Honduras win.
A 2-0
I don't see the U.S. creating enough soccer. Where's the soccer?
But do they need to create
Who's
that
creating
soccer? Do they need to create that?
No,
or do you need to go down
piece?
and figure out exactly what the goal is, get a result, get a draw? Would they be happy with a 0-0?
Of course they'd be happy.
Would Klinsmann be happy considering everything he's said about a 0-0?
He wouldn't say he's happy, but deep down he'd be happy.
Okay. The game is at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, a live chat on MLSsoccer.com, a live Google Hangout on MLSsoccer.com with Alexi and Jimmy Conrad from Kick TV. So make sure you join us here on MLSsoccer.com for all of the action from Honduras. All right, well, there was a big game on Tuesday. Maybe not quite as big as a World Cup qualifier. You're going to disagree with me?
No, it was big. I didn't think it should have taken place to begin with.
Now who's out of breath and losing his...
These teams should not face each other.
Let's get to the details. Portland and Seattle, the big Cascadia Cup preseason match that was played down in Tucson. Portland with a 1-0 victory over Seattle. Mikel Silvestre, who is technically a trialist, but let's not forget, the guy played at Manchester United and had a terrific career with the French national team. He gets the goal for Portland on a corner kick. You say, and I think I heard you say this yesterday in the office at some point, this game shouldn't have been played because Cascadia Cup is so special and should wait. But was this game worth it at all, do you think, for you?
I think it was for Portland. They continue to build momentum here. They're a team that knows what they're doing when they're on the field. That being said, Seattle, they had a lot of issues to deal with. Injuries, they had 8 or 9 guys battling illness. They were playing 3 or 4 players out of position, and they had a nightmare bus ride to get to the stadium. But so take all that together, and you saw a Seattle team that wasn't at full strength. And Caleb Porter for Portland is not overly excited, but again, you're seeing this progress. Portland knows what they're doing. They're focused on their game plan. It looks good so far.
It does look good for Portland. For Seattle, this was their first preseason match, so as you said, trying to get the kinks out a little bit, trying to just figure out where the field was as well with their bus driver. Well, I'm sure they will all be watching the U.S. game as well. And don't forget, there are some other games in the hexagonal taking place. Mexico taking on Jamaica. A lot of MLS players will be on that Jamaican side. And Costa Rica and Panama, a couple of players on the Panamanian side. And I think 1 or 2 on the Costa Rican side as well. So MLS all over CONCACAF hexagonal play today. Enjoy it, and let's hope for a U.S. win.
No, we'll hope. May the best team win.
May the best team win. Have fun this afternoon, everybody.